So I want to talk about optimizing your branding. And before I actually dig into talking about that, I'm going to talk about why brands actually can't really be fully optimized because they're not metamorphosized and they're not evolutionized, all right? Meaning the brand's not evolving. And you cannot optimize what does not have evolution. It's something that I teach in brand metamorphosis, is that you really have to become a new creation in your branding. That's how optimization happens, right? And so when you become a new creation in your branding, whether it's through rebranding or just, the metamorphosis process, and it has to be a specific type of metamorphosis process that brings about the evolution, right? So we know about optimization and what that means. Optimization is really a really higher term analogy for maximization in a sense, optimizing. It's bringing more awareness, exposure, illumination, advancement. It's maximizing something, right? So you think about search engine optimization. What is that about? It really is that people can find you, your brand or site or whatever is being optimized within a particular search engine that's going to put you at the top, so to speak, or close to the top, right? It is optimizing, maximizing, bringing to a fuller expression of that which is being demonstrated and displayed. So when a brand has not reached this evolutionary peak, it simply cannot be fully optimized to be maximized, right? And so this is a subject I love teaching about, and it's one that's really much needed and has been for quite some time. But I look out in the marketplace and I see kind of the big gap in the sense of what has been missing in terms of brands being able to fully get the maximization and for others to get the maximum benefit from them and create the win-win where they're actually receiving that back to themselves. But it's a lack of evolution, a lack of optimization, because you can look consistently across the board and see that it's just a new and improved version of branding each and every time you visit someone's site. Even when they're doing something new, it's just new and improved. We don't need new and improved. We need new creations. A caterpillar enters into the cocoon experience, the chrysalis experience, not to become a bigger caterpillar or a more advanced caterpillar. It enters into that experience because it's going to break down, come unformed, and reform, be reformatted into a completely different entity of expression. And so when there is no metamorphosis, again, there's no evolution for optimization. Sure, there's transformation, and I've talked about this in other videos where what happens in brand transformation, in a sense, versus transolution, what happens is that it's more like the tadpole to the frog. It just grows up. A tadpole grows up to be a frog, which is the adult version of a tadpole. But that's transformation. That is not metamorphosis. And then also it's not evolution. And see, people get that twisted. Somehow they think transformation and growth, though they're synonymous, they think that's the same. But I would put transformation and growth somewhat in the same categories in a sense. But see, metamorphosis and evolution go hand in hand in a different category. A lot of people put metamorphosis and transformation in the same category. In the older paradigm structure, yeah, but here's the deal. In an evolutionary experience, to be optimized, metamorphosis and evolution have to work together like a hand in glove. And it has to be an evolutionary experience versus a transformation experience. Something that cannot go back to what it was. Yes, a caterpillar does transform into a butterfly in a sense, but in the human experience, it is not just transformation, it's evolution. What happens is that there's an inner transformation that then enacts a unique encoding within an individual, and then it carries it over into an evolutionary process. This is the same with branding. You may start at a certain premise in your business or your brand or however, but within a certain amount of time, you should have become something different. should not be able to look at your brand and see the same thing that I saw years ago in a new and improved format. There needs to have been a metamorphosis for a newer experience that's going to be taking place in the marketplace. So this is why brands are not prepared for the shifts and calibrated for newer experiences, because they have not been metamorphosized, evolutionized, and optimized. That's my framework that I teach within the grander context of the metamorphosis experience. And I have information below too if you want to see a few other videos that I've done on that, or avail yourself to different works, around that. But, my point in even bringing this up is that some of you are have been stuck and stagnant in your branding for quite some time. And I want to say this, you actually have entered into a cocoon experience, right? But we want to get beyond the cocoon. But the reason why you're stuck and you're stagnant in your branding is because you have not come into a newer form. You are still trying to bring about a better version of what exists and calling that rebranding or transformation or growth or however. But again, it's not a metamorphosis, and you have to know the difference. So, if you can get a hold to some of my works around that area, it's gonna help you tremendously. But certainly you can just be a part of the experience and follow some different dynamics of my branding. And even some of my older stuff, you'll see that there's a complete metamorphosis, a complete evolution in multiple areas. And the reason why I even bring this up, because brand demonstration is very important. Anytime that we can demonstrate what we do and show the growth and evolution through that, it helps people even more when they can see, not necessarily have been a part of your process, but they can look and see through some things that you've had out there where there has been an actual evolution and not just growth and transformation. And that's the difference even in the business shift now. We talk about business growth and peak performance and all these different things. Business growth, business transformation, business evolution, completely different. Business metamorphosis on a completely different scale. And again, if you want optimization, you're going to have the metamorphosis and the evolution working together like a hand in glove. We can't optimize what has not been evolutionized. So I'll be back with more videos, but certainly avail yourself to different playlists, that I have, where you can learn about different subjects as it relates to, or different areas as it relates to the marketing aspect, the business, the branding, and even selling. So I look forward to sharing more with you soon.